Hi, good morning. My name is Anusha. So today will be the poster presentation on my personal behavior with regards to functional foods. Uh, well, uh, in this part, we will be focusing only on fruits and vegetables and milk. I'm considering only fruits and vegetables and milk as the functional foods which I want to discuss in this poster. So the let me brief about the poster firstly. So the poster is being divided into 5 parts. The first part will state the segmentation group to which I belong to by using the Valls model. The second part will state the key influences of my buying behavior, and the third part will talk about the aspects of ethical behavior, and the fourth part will talk about the theories which are being related to my buying behavior, and a critical evaluation of those theories will be further provided in the scoping document. And finally, the fifth part will include certain recommendations being provided to the marketing manager for the functional foods. Okay, so let us start off with the presentation. Now the first part, as I had already mentioned, that it will identify the segmentation group to which I belong to. So, in order to identify the segmentation group to which I belong to, I have used the Valls model, which was which I thought would actually uh, suit me. So, in order in for the same reason, I have used the Valls model. After taking up the survey and self-evaluating myself with regards to the functional food, I felt that I closely relate to the thinkers and achievers group, because both the segment, it mainly focuses on pre-planned buying, and whether consumers are not being influenced by any current trends or modern trends, and they are quite contented, and the consumers are very conscious in what they want, and they really know what exactly they want. They will not get influenced by any other external trends or anything as such, and they're quite goal oriented as well, because they know what exactly they want, and they will just pick what they want. So they're not going to go and see anything else. So their purchasing process is very pre-planned. So I closely feel that I relate to the thinkers and the achievers segment, and especially the thinkers and the achievers segment mainly focuses on it. It's got a strong influence on the family. So we will discuss that in the later part of the poster. That's the next the next part of the poster itself. So okay, the first part says that I belong to the thinkers and the achievers group. Now moving on to the key influences on my buying behavior towards the functional foods. So, well, I feel that the key influences in my buying behavior towards the functional foods are: the first is my family, and the second one is the culture. So it's, if you could just have a close look at the poster, it says that culture is being influenced by many other aspects, such as your clothing, your manners, or your food eating habits, or the religion to which we belong to, or the nationality to which we belong to. So I feel that the key influences in my buying behavior is my family and my culture. So when it comes to the family, my mom is always been biggest influencer for me while purchasing any of the functional foods, because she's the one who's always taught me that this kind of fruits, we are supposed to take the organic fruits, and vegetables are supposed to be selected, and when it comes to milk, we have to go for something which is being trademarked by the government. So she's always taught me something like that. So she is a person who always believes that health is wealth. So she's always taught me that we should never ever think twice before, while spending money for food, especially when it is a matter of health, because she's been a firm believer that nothing is more important than your health. So maybe this is definitely one of the reasons for why I'm not being value conscious when it comes to functional foods, because I do not want to risk anything which is related to my health. So I do not want to be price sensitive or value conscious when it is the matter of functional foods. But when it comes to any other segment, like aspects like clothing or shopping of my clothes or my boots or my jackets, then definitely yes, I am a value conscious customer. But when it comes to functional foods, definitely I am not a value conscious customer, because I always feel that our health is more important than anything else. So it is better to spend on the food rather than going and spending at the general practitioner for the medicines or anything as such. So that is the reason I don't want to be a value conscious consumer in this case. So, well, talking about the ethical aspects of my buying behavior, so I can strongly say that I'm a 100% ethical consumer when it comes to buying milk, especially. So especially when it comes to buying milk, I always say that I'm very, very, very ethical when it comes to the purchase of milk, because of my past experiences where I happened to intake the adulterated milk. So it had a severe impact on my health. So I was being suggested by the doctor that I am not supposed to have any milk which is being available at the market. So he always he suggested me to go for the organic milk instead, because since my childhood, I've always liked milk, and I really like drinking milk in the night time. So he knew that this is one of my habits. So he suggested me to go for the organic milk. So since the bad phase, whatever happened because of drinking the adulterated milk, since then I always stick to the organic milk, though organic milk is a little more costlier than the milk which we can easily find at the supermarkets or anything as such. But still, as I've already had some health issues regarding taking the adulterated milk, so I do not want to risk my health again. So as I already stated earlier, that I do not want to risk my health for the matter of money. So I do not mind paying much more than the normal milk which we are able to find at the supermarkets. So that is the reason I don't mind spending on milk. So I always say that I'm very ethical towards milk purchase. And the reason for being extremely ethical could the main reasons, one was definitely the past experience which I had, and secondly, it's been the strong influence of my family. So again, when it comes to the matter of family, it is definitely my mother, because she is being very, very, very ethical when it comes to purchasing of fruits and vegetables. So she, no matter how far the store is from my house, so she always sees to it that she goes to that particular organic store to get fruits and vegetables, because this is definitely out of the love and care which she has for her family members. So she's always being very ethical. So irrespective of the convenience or the distance where she has to happen to go to the store and in person and get everything, so she doesn't anything doesn't bother her. So all she wants is that her family is eating healthy and they are physically and mentally being healthy by good eating habits. So this has definitely had a impact on me. So this could be one of the reasons why I am being extremely ethical towards purchasing milk, because no matter what the condition is, I will definitely go for the organic milk, and I would not prefer the adulterated milk. So my mom has always been a the biggest influencer in my life when it comes to purchasing of certain functional products. So that is it. So, and as I already stated that I am definitely not a value conscious consumer, because health is much more important than anything else, especially money as well. So now moving on to the next part of the poster. So the theories which are being selected for this presentation are the consumer culture theory and the compulsive consumption, and last but not the least, the MR model. That's the Mehrabian and Russell model. So that's the MR model. Talking about the CCT, that's the consumer culture model. So I felt that I closely relate to the CCT model, because the CCT model provides a link between the individual's behavior and the cultural processes. So as stated earlier that I've been constantly saying that the major influence is my family and my culture. So I felt that the CCT model could explore the link between my behavior and the culture. So I have opted for the consumer culture theory, which says that the cultural influences could have a major impact on consumers' buying behavior. So yes, definitely when it comes to the fruits and vegetables and milk, so the culture which I belong to, or like I've been brought up since my childhood, so that is definitely which matters to me as well. So that is the reason I've chosen the consumer culture theory. So when it comes to the compulsion, due to the strong family influence, as again I'm being extremely compulsive towards milk, because the level of addiction is so high that I can't fall asleep without drinking milk. So that's the reason why I have chosen a compulsive consumption, because I'm really addicted to drink milk at night time. So once I drink milk, I always feel and I'm very satisfied and I fall asleep, which gives me a lot of relaxation. So while talking about the satisfaction and the falling asleep aspect, so I felt that I could link it to the MR model. So now that we have spoken about the satisfaction and arousal, I felt that the MR model, which has been divided, which divides the people's state of feeling into three independent emotion, that is pleasure, arousal and dominance. So I thought that when it comes to my case, the pleasure is satisfaction of drinking milk, and the arousal is the satisfaction is the state of falling asleep. These two, while combined, it leads to the indicator which is called as relaxation. So this explains the MR model. Now moving on to the last part of the presentation, that is the recommendations which could be given to the marketing managers for the functional food. So basically, after evaluating myself and certain theories as well, so what I felt is there is a lot of need for the marketing managers currently to take the functional foods, to take the importance of the functional food into the to the consumers and make them understand the benefits of the functional foods. So the recommendations which I would like to give to the marketing managers from my analysis is that the managers could develop a promotional campaign which will promote the functional food, and by stating the benefits of the functional food to the customers. Now that every individual is being extremely health conscious, so definitely they will always feel that this is quite interesting to them, because everyone seems to be very health conscious these days. So that I always feel that they could promote it. The promotion could mainly happen at the dietitian centers or the fitness centers, because this is a major place where the consumers could be influenced over the healthy food and healthy eating habits and anything which is regarded to the health and well-being. And also, the organization could be encouraged to behave in an ethical manner as it influences the buyer behavior towards the ethical products, that could be the organic products as well. And finally, it is the duty of the manager to ensure that the promoted products, that is the functional products, is reaching the target customers. So therefore, it is highly recommended that the marketing manager makes an effective plan before implementing it. So these are the recommendations which I would like to give it to the marketing manager for promoting the functional foods. Yeah, this is the end of the presentation. Thank you.